Okay, today we're back with some viewer photos. It was popular, our first one. You can see I've got on my palm hat and we are ready for the second installment of this. And so we've got 5 gardens today and we're gonna go over them, and we're gonna start with one of the best one. This is Jose's Tropical Garden. I've been subscribed to him for a while. He has a very good garden in 7A. He is in, let's see, Middlesex County, New Jersey. And it says he's located in coastal central New Jersey, zone 7A. His garden's over 70 years old. He's only been growing palms for the past 6 to 8 years. He also grows colocasia, which is elephant ears, canna lilies, yuccas, windmill palms, Washingtonia robusta, pindo, and robolinis. And he has varied tropical citrus and annuals for color, and he has quite a few good looking crepe myrtles we're going to take a look at. So let's take a look at his photos, and if you want to take a look at his YouTube, just take a look in the comments there. And so we'll take a look at his first one here, and his first picture, you can see his great crepe myrtles going there in the middle of the photo. He has so much going on. We're just going to touch on some highlights, what I see. He's got elephant ears down at the bottom. He's got this really good looking pindo palm going there. Of course, all these things like the pindo palm he protects. He's got Musa Baju to the left that you'll see the bananas. Those are hardy to zone 5. Almost everybody that watches us zone 5 or higher can grow those. And he has a red abyssinian in the very back right corner back there. And he's got a little, I think it's a Washingtonia. It's a little small on my screen here toward the bottom right or whatever on this first picture. So he has a lot of plants and a lot of stuff going on for 7A. So pay attention to what you can do here. This is one of the a very good garden to take a look at. Second photo here, he's got some more crepe myrtles. He's got a lot of yucca going. He knows a lot about these yucca. He has yucca gloriosa. He has almost every type of yucca that's easily growing there. And so I don't know the names of all of them. He's the one that's expert on that. And he's got a really good looking planter here growing raised. That's really good for some of these plants, but he's got a lot of stuff in there, including some canna lilies. So let's go on to his third photo. Third photo looks like his largest, or I think it's his largest windmill palm. And I'll tell you something, and we'll tell you a little bit more in a minute, next photo. But you see around the bottom, he has this wood box built around the bottom. Jose is it looks like an expert carpenter, and he builds some of the best palm boxes to put his palms in over the winter that you will see. And they're like the Cadillac of palm boxes. So if you want to go all out on your palm box, pay attention to some of his videos on that. It looks like he has a electric or something box down at the bottom as well. I didn't know he had the boxes already run to it with the electric, but he goes pretty elaborate on those. You'll see. So that's his big windmill palm. Looks like he has a yucca, trunking yucca behind there. To the right, he has the standard form elephant ear colocasia in that planter. And back in the back, he has the trademark huge Musa Baju. And so I got some good looking, he's using the rock for his mulch, and which is fine and works real well. And then the next photo we've got here, he's got an angel's trumpet, Brugsmania or something, I think you say it. I don't have one of those, but I know what they are, and some people can get away with growing those. I don't know offhand what zone they're in, but they can get very tropical looking, different colors. In the back right, you can see a super huge banana, looks like taking over the whole house. And to the left in the photo, you will see his Washingtonia robusta, which I think he has 2 or more. I'm not sure how many, it's not my garden, but this looks like one of his larger ones. It looks pretty tall. You can see the fronds are they're really pretty on that one. So that's a really good one. Of course, obviously he boxes that in the winter, but that's a very good palm to grow. And here on the next photo, you see kind of an overall look of his garden. You can see I think he built these benches if you look over to the left, and he's very patriotic. We like that. And he's got another bench, looks like over with a flag on it in the center right area. And back to the plants, you'll see he's got another banana to the right. He's got, of course, our favorite palm, our Trachycarpus fortunei, and it's just got a lot of plants here and a lot of variety. And for 7A, he really knows his stuff. He has a lot of things going on. So, big shout out to Jose's tropical. Let me see what Jose's Tropical Garden, what he calls it, on YouTube, and in 7A, which is in New Jersey. That's a lot of nice plants. So there we go. There's our first one for today, and let's go on to our next viewer photos. Okay, we're gonna continue our photo tour today, and today this next one we have is Rob, and he's administrator over at the Hardy Palms and Temperate Zones Forum, and he's a very good guy here, and also from Tennessee growing palms, and he is growing in zone 6B, and it says he's likely one of the coldest inhabited areas in the state, but it's southern 6B, which means it's hot and humid here during the summer and can get cold in the winter. So let's take a look at the photos he has, and the first thing we have is probably one of the largest needle palms that you'll see. This palm he says it has a circumference of, what do you say, 54 feet. So around, if you measure around it, he's saying it's 54 feet and it's 9 feet tall. So this is a very large palm, and he calls it Big Mama. And as you can see here, this palm it's been around a long time. It says it went through survived a Christmas blizzard with 3 wind chills, 48 hours, and had a tarp over it, is what he does sometimes. But you know, these needle palms, especially one this size, can take some very cold, probably at least down to -10, and you know, they might be able to press that even farther. So it's hard to know. But so next photo, he has some bitter oranges, which he says are hardy here. I'm not that familiar with those, but you can see that I'm sure people ask him about those. And our next photo here, he has his one of his Trachycarpus fortunei, which you can see is doing well. It's getting pretty big for him. He's had a lot of palms over the years. And the next photo here, he's excuse me, he's got started. He's got a queen palm going and some flowers going there. And queen palms, as we talked about, a lot of people put those out there available in a lot of places. And you see in the background, he's got some big Musa Bajou going, which is very popular here in Tennessee and a lot of places because those can survive zone 5. The queen palm, not so much. Queen palm in the mid 20s or so. I'm sure he's gonna either cover it or do something with that palm there. Next thing he's got here is a large Yucca rostrata, and these are, a lot of people mistake these for palms, but these grow a large trunk and do really well here in Tennessee, and got some sharp spines on them, but besides that, they're a very good plant that you can put out and grow fairly fast. Next picture here, he has a butia. I think he just put this in the ground this year and plans on protecting it. Looks like it's kind of the green form of the butia. And this is the hardiest type of feather palm. You know, there's different types of these, but this is roughly the hardiest one that you can easily obtain. So. And the next picture, he's got a sable minor. He says this come from the Charles Coles estate about 15 years ago in Sparta, Tennessee, from plants that have been growing there in Tennessee for 75 years. So sable minor in Tennessee is pretty much a palm that you can't really hurt. They'll come back from the ground or something if everything gets frozen. So a very tough and good choice. So another shout out to Rob. He's been a really good palm friend over the years, and he grows a lot of good stuff. And head on over to that board if you want to see anything else. Hardy palms in temperate zones for them. Just look it up on Google there, and we'll go on to our next photos, and let's see who they're from here. So our next garden up is TNTropics. This garden is 1 year old, and he says he has a sable minor, needle palm, also growing bananas, elephant ears, canna lilies, hardy hibiscus, and some evergreens, cactus, and ferns. And this is in Needmore, Pennsylvania, zone 6B. So this is a little more challenging zone. And so let's take a look and see what he started out with. This is a first year garden. So let's go and take a look. The first one is a needle palm here. Needle palms in 6B will be fine. They do need to be covered. If it's, you know, like this size, the first couple of years, I would be careful because they can spear pull. It's best to cover them or watch them when it has a lot of wet, cold. But the needle palm, especially once it gets rooted and going strong, will survive in 6B just fine. It's just when they're small like this, they're slow growing, and you just need to keep an eye on them. And so we have some videos on that. You can put copper fungicide and that sort of thing to make sure they make it through a spear pull. But there's this little needle palm, and those palms can get really big, so watch out. It could take over the deck or whatever there in years to come. And here's our next picture. We got some of the standard elephant ears. These are a lot of the elephant ears you can buy at your local Lowe's or Home Depot or Walmart even. And you see these bulbs, and this is the type of elephant ear that they usually produce. And most of these elephant ears are hardy into zone 6, especially with some mulch. And he's got some canna lilies to the right. He's put a lot of the things like the canna lilies right up next to the foundation to give a little extra oomph, but probably in 6B, you can probably get away with putting those canna lilies when they divide out a little further. They probably are a little hardier than they're thinking here, but same goes here. He's got some canna lilies pretty close to the house. You probably, as soon as those divide and multiply, move those a little ways away, and they will, if they start out in the spring and get big and tough, they'll make it through the winter. And he's got a few more elephant ears there. And next photo here is the hardy hibiscus, which is one of the most tropical looking things you can have that's the hardiest, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. And the hardy hibiscus, unlike the tropical hibiscus, comes in colors of like pink and red. I think they have some bluish tones now or something like that. They have the dull type leaves, where the tropical hibiscus, if you look at them, will have the shiny type leaves. So the tropical hibiscus has shiny and really vibrant colors. They'll have the yellows, the oranges, and all types of tropical looking things. But the tropical hibiscus won't make it through the winter, where the hardy hibiscus will make it through zone 5, maybe zone 4. They're really super tough. And so going to the next photo here, he has his sable miner, which at this size is probably tougher than those smaller needle palm he had, mainly because you see that the growing point where the spear is coming out of there, close to the center there, I'm trying to say what that is, a leaf or rock or something there, is down in the ground. So the ground keeps that growing point warm, and so these little sable miners, or even when they get bigger, the growing point's down in the ground, and it's highly insulated by just the ground heat that's coming up. And so these little sable miners like this are really tough, and they should do just fine. So that's it for this one. I have Andrew from Smithville, Tennessee. He's right down the road from me, and he's also in zone 7A. So hey, neighbor. And it says he's been growing tropical plants and adding to his collection since 2021. So he has a fairly new garden. He has hardy bananas, sago palms, windmill palms, Australian tree fern, which is one I would like to have, a little hard to grow, and a bird of paradise, elephant ears, palmettos, many more. And so he has palmettos from less than a year to maybe around 3 years, and mainly he brings his plants inside for the winter. And let's see what he's got. First photo here looks like he's got a potted windmill palm, which is a Trachycarpus fortunei. And you can see it looks good and healthy. Some, all these palms, they get a few little spots and blotches on the leaf every now and then. That's no big deal. And I think that's view maybe of the same one in the second photo there. And looks like we're getting a little bit of view of his Australian tree fern, which those are pretty nifty to have around. And third photo looks like we're getting a lot of his potted tropicals. Looks like he's got a banana. I'm not sure if that's a Musa Baju or not. It looks a little different, but actually several versions of the bananas, on like people don't realize, the ice cream banana and some of the other ones can go in the ground as well. And especially where you are, Andrew, put you out a Musa Baju, you can put you out an ice cream banana, almost anything you want there. And especially the Musa Baju will come back, no problem. Just plant it in the spring. He's got a sago in the little pot there. Looks like he's got a bird of paradise on the right, and of course to the left of the bird of paradise he's got that Australian tree fern, which that's another one I've wanted to get, but backed off of it a little bit because it's a little hard to keep. We'd probably have to keep it in a pot here. And so the next photo here, we got a little bit different view of some of those potted plants. And then finally we've got area with a elephant ear here. And Andrew, that's a great area to put some of your tropicals. So let's put out a banana on that corner, and let's put some canna in there, and let's get that area tropical fied for next year, Andrew. And I'm not saying anything bad. I'm just saying that's a good area to put a lot of stuff, especially if it's on the south side of your house. But those are the regular type of elephant ears, and they should do fine for Andrew. And in 7A, you can grow most types of elephant ears, and they'll come back for you year round. I mean, next year. So So there we go, and another fairly new garden, but off to a great start and a lot of great variety of plants there. And so congrats to Andrew, and thanks for sending those photos in. And let's go on to our next viewer who sent some photos in, and let's see what we got. Okay, our next viewer submission for photos is DTS3, and he is located in a very difficult zone in New Boston, Michigan. He is in 6A, and so it says he's working on his tropical garden up in Michigan, and he has colocasias, needle palm, and a banana tree, and says he's gonna phase out the sunflowers next year so he can plant more tropicals. Hey, we like that. And he's got a lot of succulents and different things. So let's take a look and see what's going on. So the first photo here is one of the cacti, and I am not that familiar with those. So DTS, you'll have to put down at the bottom and tell us which one this is. But you can see it's flowering really good there. And second, he's got a banana, and I hope it's a Musa Bajou, because if it is, he's going to be in luck and it's going to come back. And it's hard to tell that small exactly what that one is, but these will grow big over time. You probably need to give it a bigger area, a little bit wetter area, and mulch it good, because these bananas can get really huge. I mean, really huge. And so they need an area eventually. Even in Michigan, they're gonna probably need at least a 5x5 up to a 8x8 or 10x10 area if they really get going, because these things can really take over a spot. Next photo here, we've got a needle palm, and like we were saying in the other photos, are small, especially if they're in a challenging zone. Let's cover those for a couple of years and baby them along a little bit, because they can spear pool. So try to keep them away from the really wet cold, and that'll help them just speed them along in the spring so that they don't have a spear pool or two that they have to outgrow. And the next photo here, which is the last photo of our entire tour, it shows some of his sunflowers, which he's saying he's gonna get rid of and put some tropicals in, and a few of the standard elephant ears. And there again, you can grow some different types of elephant ears in 6A. 6A is pushing it a little bit, but all the hardy elephant ears, especially like pink china, would be great there. And you know, I've even found these ones that are a little more tropical looking, like the Aloha's, to be pretty hardy. So you might even try those in Zone 6. But anyway, that's our photo tour for today, and we're glad everybody watched. And please subscribe. That really helps us to make more videos, and we hope that everybody's enjoying planting these tropical plants. And if you have any questions, please put them below, and I'll leave up the form in the submission below where you can submit your photos. And if we get enough people, at least 2 or 3, then we will have this again in the future. And so thanks a lot, and TNTropics is out. Bye.